minority in parliament has criticized the government for what it says is a deliberate attempt to delay the reintroduction of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, popularly known as the Anti-LGBTQ Bill. According to the caucus, it has been 5 weeks since Speaker Alban Bagbin announced that the revised version of the bill was undergoing final fine-tuning to facilitate its smooth passage. Yet, the bill has still not been brought back to the House for consideration. Raising the issue on the floor of Parliament on Friday, November 21st, the lead sponsor of the bill, Rev. John Tim Forjour, MP for Asson South, urged that it be scheduled on the order paper next week. It is 5 weeks since Mr. Speaker gave that ruling, yet no attempt has been made by this House to address the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, even as the cancer of LGBTQ continues to devastate our norms and threaten our family values, he said. He warned that Parliament must not give the impression that a bill considered a priority in the previous Parliament has been abandoned. Tim Forjour alleged that the government is blocking the bill from being listed for discussion, a development he described as disappointing to Ghanaians. He insisted the matter be corrected if it was due to an oversight. However, Majority Leader Mahama Ayariga rejected the claims, stating that the government has no intention of obstructing the bill's return and assuring the House of the Mahama administration's commitment to ensuring its passage. Chief Executive Officer of Aduro Yi Herbal, Dr. Collins Amo, producers of Obwesai bitters and Obwesai baby diapers amongst others, has donated 5,000 sets of its baby diapers to selected health facilities within the Obwesai East and Obwesai municipalities. The gesture forms part of the company's ongoing commitment to strengthening maternal and child health care within the Obwesai enclave. The beneficiary facilities include St. Jude Hospital, Obwesai Government Hospital, SDA Hospital, Bryant Mission Hospital, and the AGA Health Foundation. Presenting the items, Dr. Amo underscored the company's resolve to contribute meaningfully to the development of the communities in which it operates. As part of our corporate social responsibility, we find it important to support key sectors such as health, especially when it involves mothers and newborns. These diapers are locally produced here in Obwesai, and we believe they will help ease the burden on health facilities and families, he said. The herbal company reiterated continuous partnership with local authorities and institutions to promote improved healthcare delivery and general community well-being. Health officials from the beneficiary institutions expressed gratitude for the timely support, noting that the donation would significantly enhance hygiene and care within maternity and child welfare units. This latest gesture adds to a growing list of philanthropic interventions by Dr. Amo. Over the years, he has supported several worthy causes, including donations to orphanages and widows. Last year, he contributed 200,000 Ghanaian cedis to the Heal Cath project, an act that earned widespread public commendation. The Volta Regional Police Command has destroyed 47,530 kilograms of Indian hemp, with an estimated street value of GH 4.2 billion. The destruction followed a court order issued after the conclusion of a criminal trial. The narcotics, seized in 2022, were incinerated at the Keef dumping site in Ho under the supervision of a multi-agency team that included the Police, Narcotics Control Commission, and the Environmental Protection Authority. The police command expressed appreciation for the collaboration of all stakeholders and reaffirmed its commitment to the fight against drug trafficking. The Inter-Party Advisory Council (IPAC) Cross River State Chapter has commissioned a new state secretariat donated by the government, marking a historic step in strengthening political party cooperation and governance. The ceremony in Calabar was praised by Honorable Nkoyo Otu, Special Advisor to the Governor, as unprecedented, reflecting Governor Bassi Otu's commitment to solidifying governance and supporting IPAC with office space, subvention, and a vehicle. Governor Otu's administration was commended for infrastructure, agriculture, and education initiatives, reinforcing optimism ahead of the 2027 elections. IPAC Chairman ENGR Efia Medet Okon described the inauguration as a critical step in institutionalizing the Council's role in advancing democracy and good governance. He called on political parties to unite for peaceful, credible elections and for progress in education, healthcare, and economic opportunities for all Cross Riverians. The event concluded with the ceremonial unveiling of the Secretariat. The Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, has rejected the Federal High Court's judgment sentencing its leader, Nnamdi Kanu, to life imprisonment for terrorism. IPOB argues Kanu's advocacy constitutes lawful self-determination, not terrorism, calling the conviction unconstitutional and unsupported by Nigerian law. Spokesperson Emma Powerful stated no arms, explosives or attack plans were ever linked to Kanu, and stressed that self-determination is protected under international rights conventions. IPOB referenced Section 36(12) of the 1999 Constitution, which mandates that only offenses defined in written law can result in conviction. The group said the judgment failed to meet legal standards and ignored precedent from higher courts. KANU's broadcasts and directives on Radio Biafra led to charges, but IPOB insists on international monitoring and calls for a UN-supervised referendum. The group promises continued peaceful advocacy and a detailed legal response. U.S. lawmakers have sharply questioned Nigeria's ability and willingness to protect Christian communities and other victims of extremist violence amid worsening insecurity. At a heated congressional hearing, legislators pressed for accountability and urgent action, reviewing Nigeria's status as a country of particular concern, CPC. Congressman Bill Huizenga accused President Tinubu's government of sitting back as insecurity rose. Lawmakers and State Department officials cited mass killings, targeted attacks by radical groups, and criticized Abuja for not doing enough or downplaying the crisis. Concerns were raised about a halted youth peace-building program and calls for rethinking U.S. aid to Nigeria. Recommendations included accountability for leaders, deeper scrutiny, and assistance focused on technical support and long-term reforms. Meanwhile, Nigerian officials defended the country's record, insisting there is no religious intolerance. Coalition groups urged domestic reforms, investigating religious freedom violations, and called for interventions from the UN and ICC. Critics cited systemic discrimination and violence, while others argued that attacks affect Christians and Muslims. Some U.S. lawmakers condemned framing violence solely as anti-Christian persecution, warning against oversimplification. Russia says it has not received any official proposal from the U.S. for a peace plan on Ukraine, despite widespread leaks of a draft deal, including major concessions by Kyiv such as ceding Donetsk areas, reducing troop size, and opting out of NATO membership. Moscow described the plan as heavily slanted toward Russian interests. Ukrainian President Zelensky and officials gave careful, non-committal statements, expressing readiness to discuss proposals with the Trump administration. White House sources say the plan resulted from talks with senior Ukrainian officials. Other world leaders, including Germany's foreign minister and the EU, say the document is only a list of topics and options at this stage. Russian strikes continue, killing civilians in Zaporizhia and Dnipropetrovsk. Moscow remains open to peace talks but insists any deal must address its core demands, seen by Kyiv as tantamount to capitulation. The draft proposal includes steps like limiting Ukraine's military, European fighter jets in Poland, and Russia's reintegration into global economic forums. Ukrainian citizens and commentators express skepticism, describing the plan as a way to prolong conflict rather than secure peace. Pope Leo XIV has stated that both Christians and Muslims are victims of Nigeria's widespread violence, linking the crisis to extremist groups as well as economic and land-related conflicts. In a widely shared video interview from Castel Gandolfo, the Pope explained that Christians and Muslims have been slaughtered, and that danger exists in certain areas for all people, not just one religious group. He identified multiple causes for the bloodshed. There's a question of terrorism. There's a question that has to do a lot with economics, if you will, and control of the lands that they have. Pope Leo XIV urged the Nigerian government to step up efforts to protect all citizens and promote true religious freedom. The Pope previously referenced Nigeria among the countries where Christians face significant persecution, but emphasized a balanced view, recognizing victims across communities. His remarks come amid renewed U.S. scrutiny of religious violence in Nigeria and calls for international intervention. Poland's economic transformation, from a post-communist state to a $1 trillion economy, offers a valuable model for Nigeria's development. Key to its success were rapid market reforms, a focus on local manufacturing and innovation, and gradual integration into the EU and NATO. Poland's strategy of leveraging local resources, like its blend of coal, gas, and renewables for energy independence, provides a template for Nigeria to better utilize its own gas and coal reserves. For Nigeria to emulate this success, experts recommend focusing on local job creation, investing in modern infrastructure, attracting foreign investment, and decisively curbing corruption to revive its industrial centers. Togo delivers a strong performance at the Islamic Solidarity Games currently taking place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. 2 Togolese female athletes have won 2 bronze medals for the country during the events held on Wednesday. In the long jump, Faiza Abdukarim secured Togo's first medal with a leap that earned her a solid 3rd place. A few minutes later, Naomi Akakpo confirmed the positive momentum of Togolese women's athletics by finishing 3rd in the 100-meter hurdles, with a time of 13.65 seconds, one of the best of her career. These achievements mark a significant improvement for the national women's team, which continues to gain results on the international stage. The 2025 edition of the Islamic Solidarity Games, which opened on November 7, brings together 57 countries competing in 21 Olympic disciplines, confirming its status as a major sporting event in the Islamic world. The competition runs until November 21. Togo's political landscape is characterized by high tension, a dominant ruling party, and a fragmented opposition struggling with organizational and transparency issues. The Union for the Republic, UNER, holds most institutional power, while the opposition remains divided, having failed to establish lasting influence through various short-lived coalitions. Parties outside the ruling majority operate in a difficult environment marked by banned protests, arrested leaders, and tightly controlled elections. This repression, combined with deep ethnic and political polarization, hinders their ability to mobilize and form a unified strategy. A major challenge is opaque and unequal funding. Public funds largely benefit the ruling party, member contributions are too small, and private donations raise concerns about independence. This financial model limits the opposition's capacity to run effective campaigns. For political life to be revived, key reforms are needed: an overhaul of the electoral framework to restore trust, generational renewal within opposition leadership, a reduction of divisive politics, and a more transparent party funding system. The implementation of the Fifth Republic has intensified calls for national political consultations to break the current deadlock. Togo is pushing its digital transformation forward with the launch of a new online service for post office box applications. Announced on November 20th by the Togo Postal Service, the platform now allows users to complete the entire process without having to go anywhere. The system offers several features: online submission of documents, real-time tracking, secure payment, and digital assistance. The goal is to simplify procedures and speed up the processing of applications. For the postal operator, this step marks an important milestone in modernizing public administration and expanding access to digital public services.